and I have just been informed that we are all set up for our next run of Portal 2, Inbound No Save Load Abuse by JuegAriel. Take it away.
Do some science.
Hello again! Again, I'm JuegAriel. I'm doing Portal 2, submitted by the lovely Jayo.
Hello, hello.
This was a blast to learn. Honestly, it was really fun. I am bad at it, but it was really, really fun.
That's about how it goes with most people that start running.
So we have
fun,
a
but the
we have a
learning
5
curve.
minutes intro, so might as well start already and talk about it during the intro. So let's start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good morning.
So this is Portal 2. If you haven't played Portal or Portal 2, I honestly don't know how you managed to do that, but congrats, that's an achievement. But yeah, this is first-person puzzle shooter.
When you hear the buzzer,
it's Portal. Like, you have seen the memes at this point.
If you need an explanation on what Portal is, then you probably... I'm genuinely impressed that you can find the stream online to begin with.
Please go stand in front of it. This is art.
And if you still need an explanation, just play it.
Yeah, just play it. It goes on sale. It goes on sale a lot. Honestly, it might be on sale now. Who knows? And now Steam's Halloween sale is over. But both Portal games go on sale for $1 a lot. I think the next time that they'll go on sale is probably the Steam Winter Sale. Maybe. That'll be happening next month. If you somehow haven't played the games, I highly recommend you do check them out. So this first section of the game here is pretty much the movement tutorial, but it's just 5 minutes of pure cutscene starting from this point out. Normally in speedruns we have a save that skips all this stuff RTA. We have the time in afterwards, of course, but just so that we don't need to sit through this 5-minute cutscene every time. But just for marathon's sake, we do like to play through it.
That way you also will see the story in all its fulfillment and just how dumb and great it can get to be.
You might want to hang on to something. Word of advice, up to you.
Yeah, this game is one of the final few games, the final few FPS puzzle games to actually have funny characters.
You all right down there?
That's a rare sight to see nowadays.
Hello?
Alright, so just to explain some of the stuff that's going on screen here, because you recognize on the top left and the bottom, some things are added on the HUD. So we play with a speedrun plugin called Source Auto Record. Its original purpose was just to make recording demos easier, and demos are just like a form of proof that we have. They're like replays basically. But now the plugin has grown to such a massive scale to where we have custom HUDs and stuff. So on the top left, you'll notice a position, angle, and velocity. Those will be important for many, many times later in the run. There's a demo HUD underneath that just shows what demo you're recording. And finally, a dialogue and funneling toggle. So there are keybinds that could change whether you hear dialogue or portal funneling, which is basically when you fall into a portal, the game will sort of adjust your position so that you fall nicely through the portal. It's on by default, but turning it off is not allowed in the speedruns as of like 2 years ago. So those two toggles are pretty much not used throughout the full game run.
Why should I be kept informed?
I pretty much don't touch them.
Yeah, dialogue is so important in the full game run to where you don't want to turn it off, and funneling you can't turn off. Well, you in the rules can't turn it off. And then finally at the bottom, you'll notice it says in a dire emergency with the MER in brackets. At the end of most levels, there's an elevator, and I'm gonna do the silly metaphor here, but imagine a bus. Imagine a bus stop. And a bus only comes if I'm going to do this whole the whole bit. Imagine a bus that only comes at certain times on a schedule. If you get to the bus station 1 minute before the bus leaves, then that'll be faster for you than getting to the station 1 minute after it leaves. So the same thing happens here. We walk into the elevators at a certain time. We use dialogue keys for that, so that we get our transitions faster. Because the game only checks for a transition for a map transition once the dialogue is finished. So entering the elevator at the right time can save us between 1 or 2 seconds in each map. And across 60 maps, that could be, you know, a minute or so of time save.
A gun that makes holes, not bullet holes. But don't worry, you'll figure it out. Seriously, do hold on this time. Good luck.
Okay.
Hello. And again,
You ready for 45 more seconds of cutscene?
I mean, I've always been ready.
Technical difficulties due to circumstances of potentially apocalyptic significance.
The day we find a skip for this vault will be the day.
Well, it happened for
The
Portal
greatest
1,
day.
so...
Yeah, there's a Portal 1 one, but we don't have the bed. The bed that the Portal 1 skip uses isn't even here.
Environmental, social, economic, or structural collapse. The portal will open and emergency
well, I give up.
testing will begin in 3, 2, 1.
So, you want to talk about bunny hopping and how it's so stupidly difficult?
Yeah, so if you're familiar with Source Engine and most FPS games based on the Source Engine, you'll probably be familiar with bunny hopping. Pretty much when you're in air and not holding W, your speed is pretty much uncapped. So we use the strafe keys A and D while in air to gain speed, and use our scroll wheel to hop off the ground immediately after we land, so that we could preserve that speed.
Hit the button, thank you. Buttons have a very weird hitbox, and I forgot the cue. Marathon nerves, don't mind me. But yeah, bunny hopping is very difficult for me. I don't know how you guys do it.
Bunny hopping is something that you need like hundreds of hours on in order to be considered decent.
An Aperture Science Reintegration Associate will revive you for...
There you go, you notice there.
Yeah.
You notice they're waiting outside the elevator for a couple seconds while the dialogue played.
Governed by a manner of animal king, sentient cloud, or other governing body that either refuses to or is incapable of listening.
Hey, you made
This is
it.
the dialogue skip that I can never
There
do.
should be a portal device on that Oh!
Yeah, so this is the map where we first get the portal gun. Much like the first Portal game, it's the single portal device, so we have access to the blue portal, but we can't shoot the orange portal ourselves. We need to use one of the wall panels that just have the orange portal on them. And this is where pretty much most of the first chapter is going to be.
And provided with one copy of the Laws of Robotics to share. Good. If you feel that a lethal military android
Yeah, so there's a dialogue skip for this. I never get it.
A future Aperture Science Entitlement Associate will initiate the appropriate grievance filing paperwork.
So now you see how we have to wait for all the dialogue to end.
This next test is very dangerous. To help you remain tranquil in the face of almost certain death.
This is another thing. If you've played the first Portal game, then you'll recognize this chamber. Most of Chapter 1 are reused.
Oh.
Most of this first chapter is reused. Well, not reused, I mean. But reused chambers from the first Portal game. The whole lore is that you're going through the same testing track. There are some slight differences.
You have trapped yourself.
There's some slight differences with like game design and whatnot. Like that second chamber, which would be 01 in the Portal games, has buttons instead of a rotating portal. But that's just like game design stuff. It's supposed to be all the same in terms of lore. So you'll notice that cube through the door thing. The portal hitboxes themselves, even though portals are visually oval, their hitboxes are like normal rectangles. So if we get a portal close up to a door, then using that hitbox, you are able to sort of phase cubes through the door.
Oh, come on. I can't do portal stance now. There we go.
There you go.
Well done. The Enrichment Center reminds you that although circumstances may appear
Some of these puzzles aren't new though. Like this puzzle wasn't in Portal 1,
constructs will remain functional in
and neither will the next one.
Environments of as few as 1.1 volts.
So I believe portal stands are like very similar to Portal 1, except there's a very big difference in that in Portal 1, when you shoot the portal, it takes a little bit of time for the portal to actually get to the wall. In here, it's instant.
Yeah, Portal 1 portals are actual projectiles, so if you shoot at a faraway surface, then it'll take farther for the portal to land, compared to Portal 2, which are hit scan, meaning no matter the distance, it's instant. Which is nice in some instances, but like Portal stands, for example, well, more specifically, a different strat called Pika portals, which are very similar to portal stands, except you go back through the portal. So instead of, standing outside the portal, you want to go back through your original portal. They are much easier in Portal 1 since you have a bunch of time to wait while the portal's landing. So what Ariel's
with this now?
So what Ariel's doing here is a button stick. On some buttons in the game, if you step on and off of them in one frame with a disgustingly huge asterisk on it, but in one frame, then the output of the button can be stuck turned on. Specifically, it's for buttons that have what's called a pending output, but pretty much you could think of it as like animations, pretty much. So like those panels have a long animation.
All safety devices have been disabled.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to do the pancake shot here.
Yeah, so this is one of the most precise shots in the game. Portal 2 doesn't really have that many precise look up at a specific coordinate and then shoot. But this is one of the few of them. So there's an industrial. If you need me to be quiet, let me know.
No, it's fine.
All right. There's an industrial door model in the game, and the model itself, visually looks solid. Did you get it? I think you did.
Yes.
Yeah, looks like you did. Good job.
If I can get into the portal, because this
that's rough. I don't know why that's so difficult to walk through. I have that issue as well. But yeah, there's an industrial door model. You'll notice it at the end of this map here. And while it looks solid, there is actually a tiny little collision gap at the very top, and that gap is just big enough for you to shoot portals through.
Probably ought to bring you up to speed on something.
That skips I want to say a 30-second cutscene.
Oh, even longer. It skips Wheatley. It skips Wheatley talking to you for a little bit, and then him dropping off his rail, and then him opening up the secret panel in the wall. It skips a lot.
There she is. What a nasty piece of work she was, honestly. Like a proper maniac. Do you know who ended up taking her down?
And this map is just mostly movement. Actually, no, entirely movement. Up until the end here. Because there is a pretty big skip. I don't know if you're gonna try attempting it.
No, I'm not gonna. It's very difficult for me, and I always end up failing it and wasting more time than necessary.
Yeah, so there is a pretty big skip that can give you invincibility for the rest of the game, so meaning you'll be invincible from turrets, lasers, etc. But it is very precise. It requires a very precise console pause, meaning you pause the game by opening up the developer console, as well as a pretty well-timed jump. It's fairly difficult, I'd say. It's fairly difficult, but it's something that's it's conceptually more difficult than it is execution-wise, because it literally is just a jump, but the timing is fairly precise.
It's moving up. Okay.
Yeah, I also tried to learn it once I already learned the rest of the game, and having to adjust strats for everything else was way too big of a task for me. But the main gist of it is you jump over the invisible wall here, you get to the incinerator early, and you use a clipboard to open it early while you're in the cutscene, and that, I guess, doesn't really update your invincibility status from the cutscene.
Yeah.
And
When you're in a cutscene like this is the only point in the game, I think, when you actually lose control of your character. And when you do that, the game just gives invincibility to you, you know, just in case. But the game doesn't actually take away the invincibility up until the end of the level, or well, the end of the cutscene, I say. So if you leave the level before the cutscene should end, then the game never gets rid of the invincibility. So the trick normally saves 5 seconds in this map, but over the course of the rest of the game, it could save up to around 30. But that is adjusting strats in like another 5 or so levels.
You monster. I will say though that since you
So here's that cutscene I was talking about where you lose control of the character. So right here, Shell's technically invincible,
I love it too.
but
There's just one small thing
we're going to
we
be
need take
losing it
care of
as the level
first.
fades out here.
okay, Incinerator. I want to say this is just one long cutscene, right? Like, there's you try to get to the point where GLaDOS starts talking as fast as possible, and after that, it's just waiting.
This map, well, it's a very portal heavy map since we do get the dual portal device in this map, so we can shoot both the blue and orange portals. But there's no puzzle. It really is just get to the end. There is one thing here. You'll notice Ariel walking around, or trying to sneak around a wall here. It's because they're trying to avoid a trigger that would normally play a cutscene that would block you from getting the portal gun for like around 6 or so seconds, which they did walk past properly. So that was a decent amount of time saved compared to just jumping down normally.
I discovered I have a sort of black box quick save feature.
So yeah, at this point, it's just
A catastrophic failure.
I'm rushing to the elevator, but this is just dialogue that we'll have to wait for anyways.
Well, forced really to relive you killing me.
Unless there's a dialogue skip I don't know about.
Forever. You know, if you'd done that
The only way to
to
skip
somebody
dialogue
else,
is
they might
in this
go
map
over
is just by
distance
going
to
faster.
exacting revenge.
Yeah, okay.
Like the slower you go, the more dialogues get added on.
Behind us and get back to work. After all, we've got a lot to do. and
But
only
yeah,
16
that is
things
chapter
to do.
1.
More or less. I don't have the actuarial tables in front of me. But the important thing is you're back. With me. And now I'm on to all your little tricks. So there's nothing to stop us from testing. For the rest of your life. After that, who knows? I might take up a hobby. Reanimating the dead, maybe.
So chapter 2 will start introducing us to new puzzle mechanics, starting off with lasers. Chapter 2 is pretty much all about lasers. I'm trying to think here.
Sarcasm self-test.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
there's a
chapter
strat
2 is
here,
just
like,
chapter 2 is just entirely about lasers.
Yeah.
Perform this first simple
I know there's a strat here to like get up here faster, but I never managed to do it, so I stopped trying to learn it.
in a room with deadly lasers. Not bad. I forgot how good you are at this. You should pace yourself, though. We have a
If you
lot
notice,
to
that was
test.
another reused Portal 1 map. That was, I want to say 06.
Somewhere around that, yeah.
It's the map where you get introduced to the energy ball, which there's no energy balls in this game.
I
They're
just
just replaced by the
finished building
lasers.
them before you had your, well, episode. So now we'll both get to see how they work.
So this map introduces us to the laser redirection cube, which allows you to move around lasers.
Well done. Here come the test results. You are a horrible person. That's what it says. A horrible person. We weren't even testing for that.
So yeah, there are a lot of maps here that personally I just do more or less casually because the strats that are used to go faster either are very hard or I just couldn't do them. It's just a testament to how incredibly optimized this game is.
Congratulations.
Because it's insane, actually.
Emerge from suspension terribly undernerved.
In terms of routing, most maps have a separate have a route that aren't intended. There are a couple like early in the game that are just intended but fast.
One moment. You are navigating these test chambers faster than I can build them, so feel free to slow down and do whatever it is you do when you're not destroying this facility.
So yeah, another thing that you can do in this level is you stop the platform in the middle and you bunny hop all the way. But I suck.
I'll give you credit. I guess you are listening to me. But for the record, you don't have to go that slowly.
So yeah, now we are also getting introduced to the catapults.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. This is another Portal 2 invention. Pretty much everything else that we're going to see in the game is a Portal 2 invention that isn't in the first game. But yeah, aerial faith plates are just catapults. Fairly self-explanatory. You hop on them, they fling you.
Good luck. Here's an interesting fact. You're not breathing real air. It's too expensive.
There is a way to start this dialogue early if you place a camera on the button before you go and grab the cube. Then it starts the ending dialogue early, since the game only checks for a prop on the button to start the dialogue instead of a cube specifically.
Let's see what the next test is. Oh, advanced aerial faith plates. Well, have fun soaring.
Okay, so this is an actual question I have about this level.
I have to go to the wing that was made
Is
entirely
the
of glass.
garbage landing on the button
Broken
RNG?
glass by myself.
Yes and no. If there's a trigger on the button there's a trigger on the button that's supposed to like launch off any debris that lands on it. And the trigger gets disabled once something lands on it, so that the cube doesn't just fly off. But if you go down and hit the button before the garbage, then the garbage will land on the button.
Oh, that explains things.
So you'll notice that the cube there just bounced off instead of.
Okay,
So
yeah,
there the
makes
trigger,
sense.
the trigger would have been disabled right there. So now the cube will just land plainly on the button.
Learning things in real time.
Remember before when I was talking about smelly garbage standing around being useless? That was a metaphor. I was actually talking about you. And I'm sorry. You didn't react at the time, so I was worried it sailed right over your head, which would have made this apology seem insane. That's why I had to call you garbage a second time just now.
Another weird thing about this map is that elevator just goes fast. Like that ending elevator just goes faster than any other ending elevator in the game for some reason.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I don't know why that
That I
was.
didn't know.
Anyway,
Yeah, there are hard-coded values like in a text file somewhere, and most elevators are like 200 or 300 speed. That one's 500. So it's for some random reason it's faster.
That one too.
That's really funny. I always wonder why there was no fade there.
Yeah, like there's no fade because since the elevator is so fast, you reach the bottom of the elevator shaft, so the game's fail-safe of just transitioning you once you reach the bottom kicks in.
So this is another one of those, I don't really know how to do it faster, so I just do it casually. If I can, that is, because wow, I'm being terrible at the game. But yeah.
Every test chamber is equipped with an emancipation grill at its exit, so that test subjects cannot smuggle test objects out of the test area. This one is broken. Don't take anything with you.
Now we're into the Beasler, which is just the Emancipation Grill, just like in Portal 1.
This next test involves emancipation grills. Remember, I told you about them in the last test area that did not have
Yeah,
one.
this is unfortunately the only test chamber that actually uses fizzlers as a testing element. Like you've noticed that every map at the end of after the exit door has a fizzler. But this is the only map where it's actually used in gameplay, which is unfortunate. Like, I wish there were a bunch more, because fizzlers are really fun gameplay elements.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Okay, here we go.
Yep, so this is Chapter 3. Chapter 3 introduces us to light bridges, which we're not going to be seeing for another couple maps or so. Let's see.
Well, I'm back. Well, maybe I can get one at least.
Yeah, so what Ariel's trying to do here is called double dialogue skip. Or, well, I guess just dialogue skip in this case.
You seem to have defeated it.
Okay,
yep,
I
you got one.
at least.
So normally there's, well, not normally, there is a trigger at the top of the, where you get flung to. And that trigger you can hit 3 times for 3 different dialogue lines. But if you crouch, and uncrouch in air, your hitbox can leave and re-enter the trigger, thus playing another dialogue without you needing to go and launch onto the faith plate again. So normally there would be a whole other routine where Wheatley goes and talks to you twice and whatever, but one of them was skipped.
Look at you.
Funny because I got double dialogue skip in my PvE somehow. I don't even know how. There you go. I didn't put the laser completely straight and it was messing me up. But yeah, Chapter 3 honestly, in general, is my favorite to run.
It is a very fun chapter. It is a very difficult chapter as well.
If you solve this next test, maybe I'll let you ride an elevator all the way up to the break room. And I'll tell you about the time I saw a deer again.
That is the wrong portal. Okay. I am doing this again, apparently.
You could start to see now just how difficult some of these maps are. Especially in terms of, like, the full game speedrun. This is one of the maps that has a lot of route variation. So there are a bunch of different routes compared to, like, beginner full game players, advanced full game players. There are multiple different routes for challenge mode, which is Portal 2's individual level mode.
Oh, come on.
Which has its own leaderboards website and is arguably more active and competitive compared to full game.
Yeah, I imagine because there are also either no cutscenes or less cutscenes than normal.
Yeah, it's also just shorter because most maps are, like, the longest record is
nice.
Wake Up, I think. Either Wake Up or Finale. Nope, Core. The longest record is Core, and even so, that's under 5 minutes compared to this run, which is much longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah. Now we're into light bridges.
Yeah, this is bridge intro. We're learning about light bridges, which are just portable floors, basically. They are used a lot in the rest of the game. I think I'll need to do the math here, but I think out of all the new testing elements that are introduced in Portal 2, light bridges are used the most in the main single-player campaign.
Okay, wait. I want to try at least doing this.
Excellent.
Good. I never get that dialogue.
These tests are your prey. Speaking of which, I was researching sharks for an upcoming test. Do you know who else murders people who are only trying to help them? Did you guess sharks? Because that's wrong. The correct answer is nobody. Nobody but you is that pointlessly cruel.
Alright, this is the funny thing. I have never done it. I just have to pray.
When you die,
Yeah, this is Bridge the Gap. It's arguably the hardest map in Chapter 3 for beginners, just because of this start here. There's a B-hop section where you need to go and B-hop through that door. It is very, very difficult for beginners.
No, don't get up.
And something else that Ariel tried to do there was, there's a 1 in 30 chance that door during those animations there will open just enough for you to be able to pass through.
Just dropped into the door mechanism. Shut it
But
right
that's a 1 in 30 chance, so.
Yeah. And trying to save and load counts as save load abuse, so you can't really drive for it.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of which, I don't think we've ever actually explained what the category is. So, inbounds, no SLA is the category for this game. Inbounds is fairly obvious, don't go out of bounds. But no SLA means no save load abuse, meaning you're allowed to use quick saves and quick loads for like retrying a trick or something, but you can't use them for using any glitches with save loads. Because there's a lot of stuff you could do in terms of glitching with save loads. You can stick down buttons, you can go out of bounds. Of course, you could retry RNG tricks like that door RNG there.
Oh, there's lots of room here. Did well.
Yeah, the main Portal 2 any%, or the main Portal 2 speedrun, this is the main category compared to any%, which has a lot less players because any% is just an awful run. It's terrible. It's awful. It sucks.
Good luck.
Because not only is any% a out of bounds category, it's out of bounds, which is fine on itself, but a lot of any% comes from using the challenge mode menu to sort of glitch the game into ending levels early. So a lot of the any% run is just menuing through the challenge mode like menu, and it is bad. It is not fun. So that was turret intro. Turrets are not a new Portal 2 invention. They were in Portal 1. I think they were only in 1 or 2 maps in Portal 1 though, and they are in a lot more in this game, so they definitely get their use with turrets.
The point is, yesterday was your birthday. I thought you'd want to know.
I think those are placed correctly, hopefully. Not quite.
You know how I'm going to live forever, but you're going to be dead in 60 years? Well,
Yeah, those are laser relays. Well, I don't actually know the name of them. The map's called laser relays, so I'm calling them laser relays. They are severely underused in this game, in my opinion. They're a fun element. They're underused. I think they're only used in this map and like 1 or 2 more.
That's not me talking. It's right here in your file. On other people, it looks fine. But
this is turret blocker. This is where the game sort of teaches you that, hey, turrets can't shoot you if there's a wall in the way. And that'll be important in like one future map, maybe. It's another very underused mechanic.
From France.
That's one of the annoying things. It's one of the annoying things with Portal 2. Like, they add so much, they introduce so much to where a lot of the more niche testing elements just go underused.
A man and a woman. So that's interesting.
Which is just the more reason to do more workshop levels in those mechanics.
I have a surprise for you.
The workshop levels do the base game. So Portal 2 does have a built-in puzzle editor. It's not good. It is very limiting. In terms of what you can do. It doesn't give you like the full range of testing elements or like full control over your map. There are mods that you could download, like Bmod for example, that give you full capability of the editor. But if you want to make Portal 2 maps, I highly recommend just learning Valve's own Hammer editor. It is what they use. It's what Valve used to create these maps themselves, or to create like the maps in the base game. And it is so much more powerful than the in-game editor.
It says this next test was designed by one of
This is the last map in Chapter 3. After like a couple maps of like turrets and whatnot, it's kind of funny this map has 0 turrets in it.
Not only that, but it's also like pure puzzle. It's not platforming or anything like some others.
Yeah, it's a pretty underwhelming end to a very fun chapter.
I bet you think I forgot about your surprise. I didn't. In fact, we're headed to your surprise right now. After all these years, I'm getting choked up just thinking about it.
So, chapter 4. home of my least favorite map in the game.
Initiating surprise in 3, 2.
Not this one. This one is fine, but laser chaining is just...
I made it all up. Surprise. Oh,
Okay, so chapter 4 doesn't introduce any new mechanics, but later in this chapter, spoiler alert, we will be starting our escape from Aperture. So these first few maps are just sort of, hey, everything's okay, nothing weird is gonna happen, but weird things will happen later in the chapter.
Okay, I tried to grab the thing and it didn't work. Where's the other one? There it is.
This is also the map that teaches you that... Oh, never mind. It doesn't teach you. There's laser versus turret. This is a sort of the map that sort of reinforces the fact that you could kill turrets with lasers.
Let's give your parents a call.
Which, much like a lot of puzzle elements in this game, does not go used anywhere else.
The birth parents you are trying to reach do not love you. Please hang up.
To be fair, there are a lot of ways to kill turrets in this game. Also, I know about Jerry Skip, which is a way to clip through the elevator, fall through here and skip this whole cutscene. But every time I try to do it, I waste more time than it saves, so it's still not worth it.
I know, Jerry. No, I'm on a break, mate. On a break. Ow! Just hang in there for 5 more... What?
But yeah, you won't see this cutscene in
Yes, Jerry.
top level runs.
Or maybe your prejudiced worksite should have accommodated a nanobot of my size. Thanks for the hate crime, Jerry.
I've been talking a lot about like underused testing elements, but there are a lot of
Well,
custom map packs and mods that do make use of a lot of these testing elements. So just to shout out a couple mods that, if you're a fan of this game, you really should play. Portal Stories Mel, it's free on Steam. It is excellent high quality. Like, it is pretty much of quality of the base Portal 2 game. Very fun, fairly difficult as well if you're a fan of harder puzzles. Easily the best mod that's available. Other mods, there's Aperture Tag, which costs $5 on Steam, and instead of having a portal gun, you get a gun that controls gel, which is a mechanic that we'll see a little bit later. And of course, Portal Reloaded, which is free on Steam, which you may have seen because it has the time travel portal. There are a couple other mods that I'd recommend, but those are sort of the 3 big ones. But if you want to look through more map packs and mods, the Steam Workshop, if you go like sort by top of all time, and then like search through the collections, there are a bunch of good ones. 12 Angry Tests, the Unreal Chambers, Designed for Danger, those are some good ones. And the website ModDB has a bunch of ranging from bad to decent mods.
Yeah, one of them is mine.
Pretty good. That's right.
The only mod, I think the best mod that's available on ModDB is probably... Oh boy, I have to think. There's a map pack, or there's a mod called Mind Escape. It's a map pack from, I forgot what country it was made in, but it is a very unique map pack.
Right, so we should probably explain what happened there.
Yeah, so that was a trick called laser switch glitch. Basically, with those laser wall receivers, if you take a laser off of them, then they'll still be active for a couple frames. So sort of jiggling your mouse around multiple receivers, you can get them all to be activated at the same time.
Look, metal ball, I can.
You could do it with pretty much any like row of receivers. But that what you saw on the last map and one map that was earlier in the game are the only 2 instances of it in the speedrun. So this is the behind the scenes segment of the game. It goes for the rest of chapter 4 and all of chapter 5, and it is just entirely movement maps. There's not a puzzle in sight. That doesn't count. There's not a puzzle. There's not anything. Or well, there are no main test chambers. There are puzzles. There's like no main test chambers though. It is just entirely going. is entirely zooming around.
What's going on in there? Can you get out? I heard gunfire. This way, this way.
So as you can see, I'm hugging the wall a lot. I don't really know the specifics of it, but it's faster than just walking.
Yeah, so wall strafing is something that it's another quirk of the Source Engine games with using the strafe keys to move. Since holding down W limits your speed in the forward direction. But if you're strafing, like if you hold down W but then use the strafe keys to move diagonal, you'll still gain a bit of speed. You'll move slightly faster than just holding W. So hugging the wall there keeps you going straight, but you still get that little bit of a speed boost.
Alright, so now we're into the escape.
Ah, brilliant! You made it through. Well done. Okay, follow me. We've still got work
So
to do.
I know there's a way to skip all of this.
Okay.
I stayed 3 hours trying to get it once.
Okay, alright, so I've got an idea, but it is bloody dangerous. Here we go.
So luckily, the speedrun allows a toggle for full brightness, so we can see where we're going.
If I ever turn this flashlight on, I
Yeah,
will die. They
there's
told me that about
we do have a
everything.
Fulbright toggle. This is just a command in game. I think like if you want to play with the brightness yourself, I think the command is mat underscore Fulbright.
Chopped up his entire staff
Um,
of robots.
Yeah, we allow it for a couple reasons. The main reason though is some people have different monitors, and if you turn off Fulbright, then you'll be able to see just how dark it is.
No memory of the
Some monitors can't really display the dark that well, so Fulbright is allowed just for consistency's sake. But also, another nice little side effect is that we can turn on Fulbright during live streams so that the video is actually viewable, since darkness plus video encoding is not a good combination.
smelly humans.
There's an excellent Tom Scott video about that if you're
Oh
if you're
yeah,
curious
I've
about
seen
video
it.
encoding.
Yeah. Also, what am I doing? I brain farted there.
I'll tell you, humans. Oh, love them. Just the way they look. It's great, and their folklore, wonderful, very colourful. Right. Well,
Okay, I kinda missed the movement there a bit, but whatever. So yeah, now we're going to do the main sabotage. The turret and neurotoxin sabotage. We're gonna start with turrets.
Turret redemption lines are not right.
Yeah.
Please
So
exit the turret redemption line.
this map and the next map, turret sabotage, which is this map, and neurotoxin sabotage, which is the next map. This is sort of our little descent into madness here with the game. Since GLaDOS is gonna try to kill us using neurotoxin and turrets, the only two ways that she knows how. If we just take both of those things offline, then well, she can't kill us. So we're starting off with turrets. So the way we do that is, for some reason, Aperture also makes defective turrets. So, with these defective turrets, normally, you would replace a scanner in the main room,
brilliant. You made it through. Well done.
like in this main office room that Arrow's heading towards now. With the normal turret in there, you would replace it with a defective turret, which will change, which will only let defective turrets like pass quality control. But instead, we could just do another one of these pancake shots to just skip over this whole sequence entirely.
Shut down the whole production line.
And since Source Engine games literally have no consistency when it comes to sequence breaks, the game will just continue as if we did switch out the turret.
That is correct.
Pull that turret out.
If I can get it, that is.
Look to your right a little bit.
These pancake shots are so difficult, even with the right coordinates. Sometimes it's just. But they also skip so much. Sometimes it's just. There we go.
There you go.
Okay. Right, so a side effect of that is that turrets are still alive in this map.
Yeah, so normally only defective turrets would be past that area, but obviously now they're normal turrets that pass through, so there's the possibility of you getting shot.
Yeah, I have died in that corridor multiple times.
That did not end well. And 40 potato batteries.
So,
Embarrassing.
just to go a little bit into like how this game works. Source games are made in a way where sequence breaks don't really exist. As long as you get to the end of a map, well, as long as you transition out of a map, then the next map will play as if nothing happened. Everything in Source Engine games are scripted. So it's not like some games where if you sequence break, then you can't get an item later. No, if you sequence break in this game, then there are zero consequences. As long as you've reached the end, it does not matter.
I knew we were going the right way. This is the neurotoxin generator. Bit bigger than I expected.
So this is neurotoxin sabotage. We are actually going to be sabotaging the neurotoxin.
There's some sort of control
yes.
up at the top, so
We are actually going to be taking the neurotoxin down. There is an excellent challenge mode only route that involves you grabbing a chair, picking up a chair, climbing up the elevator shaft using the chair and doing some parkour, and then doing a very far hop over to where that laser meets the wall. It is a very, very difficult, but very, 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 very fun to watch be pulled off. And
Okay, I missed.
Oh, you missed, yeah. Those hitboxes are annoying.
Good news, carry on. That did it! Neurotoxin at 0%, yes!
So this is how dark normally the level is, by the way.
Yeah, the next couple chapters are all going to be fairly dark as we get into the underground section of the game. Some people prefer to play with the underground section with Fulbright, some people don't. It really depends.
I personally don't, mostly because most of the shots I've seen people do are too much for me, so I just mostly do casual but fast.
I can't believe I'm finally doing this. Woo!
Alright, so here we have our next cutscene map. There's pretty much nothing here over the course of the next, like, 3 maps, so if there's anything that the host wants to announce, now would be a good time.
This is huge, and we're only seeing the top layer. It goes down for miles.
Oh, I have plenty to announce. We have a couple of new donations come in. So we have $25 from Anonymous, or $25 Canadian that says, or let me rephrase, I'm sorry. $25 Canadian from Anonymous that says KH2 race. Yes, please, and that went towards Kingdom Hearts 2 randomizer race. And we have a $54.69 donation again from Anonymous that says, "Let's get ready to race. Good luck to Surly and DJ Fatso." That not only went towards the KH2 randomizer race, but that incentive has been met. So, congratulations. And one last thing I'd like to announce before I send it back to y'all. We are $96 US from hitting our $5,000 milestone. So keep those donations coming in. ! Donate in chat.
Let's get to business. I hope you brought something stronger than a portal.
Alright, so yeah, like I said before, these next couple maps really are just entirely cutscene. There's a tiny bit of gameplay in between them, but it is so boring to play through.
Really, the most important part about this is just a skip. That's literally it.
This map is a controversial opinion incoming. The Last of Us 2 of Portal 2.
Oh. Okay.
Well,
I haven't played Last of Us 2, so I can't judge, so...
It's not great.
Somebody drops dead, but I have a better idea.
But one thing that this map, Ariel mentioned it briefly, but elevator skip. This map does contain the biggest skip in the game in terms of time saved between casual and speedrun. So normally this is the map where Wheatley takes over control of Aperture and goes mad and all that, but there's a way for us to skip that entire sequence, that whole 2.5 minute long sequence, simply by jumping on top of the elevator that we're supposed to be walking into. The skip will happen in about a minute or so, so there's a little bit of time until then. But
Ready to start the procedure.
yeah, that one skip makes this map at least somewhat bearable.
Start the procedure.
No.
Oh, yes, she is.
No, no, no.
I haven't really played the speedrun mod, but how does this map work in that mod?
Yes.
Right, so there is a mod. I talked about some mods earlier. There's a mod called Crazy House Speedrun mod. If you recognize the Crazy House name, it could be from a multitude of things, including like the triple laser videos, like the guys, there's something wrong with my test chamber videos. If you're a part of the Fez community, he's a big part in Fez modding. If I think he ranked highly in the Ludum Dare Game Jam last year.
You're just, no, you're not. It is gonna hurt, isn't it?
He goes around, but there's a mod that he created called Speedrun Mod, and it basically removes all cutscenes from Portal 2. It removes, well, not just cutscenes, all waiting. So elevators transition you instantly, doors open faster. Some buttons have like magnets on them, so you could just toss a cube towards the direction of the button and it'll just stick into place. But most importantly, this map, instead of all this waiting here, you could just hop into this main room from the start. There's no vault for you to wait in. Put Wheatley into the into the transfer thing. Wheatley just sits on the ground next to the transfer thing. You just gotta put him in there, hit the button, and then drop down the hole to the end of the map.
That's good.
It is very, it makes this map easily one of the most fun maps in the game.
I don't even know what I
It is so much fun. Yeah, so this is the elevator skip. Normally we would want to be inside of the elevator,
Seriously.
but you know, we could just jump on top. We could just jump on top of it. And thankfully the trigger is big enough for the cutscene to start, so the elevator can move up, so we can just drop down this hole to the end of the level.
Actually.
So that was 2.5 minutes saved right there. Over intended.
Yep.
Then we have another cutscene map here. Something fun about this cutscene map is that there's a very slight chance that you could just lose 10 seconds on it.
Wait, really?
Yep. It's very rare. But there's a chance that you could just lose up to 10 seconds.
But any specific reason, or?
I don't know the technicalities behind it, but at the end of this map, you like crash into some pieces of wood or something.
Yeah.
And then the map's supposed to fade out afterwards. Sometimes the map just won't fade out for like another 10 seconds.
Oh.
And you'll just lose that time.
That's cool. That's the first time I've heard about that.
Yeah, no, it is extremely rare. It's something funny that happens though.
So now we're underground.
Yeah, welcome to Chapter 6. Actually, well, we were in Chapter 6 last map, but welcome to Chapter 6. The gameplay part of Chapter 6. You might recognize this part of the game as the Cave Johnson part. Or, if you're actually a fan of the game, the gel part. Arguably with Chapter 3, this map is the most difficult in terms of speedrun. Pretty much every single map has its own separate strat.
Which is why this is going to suck, because I don't do much of them.
This map itself, though, is entirely movement, though. There's no puzzles or anything. You've missed your turn.
What am I doing?
You've missed your turn.
Okay, so I know there's like a snipe shot you can do on a hallway now. I never tried to learn it. I just bunny hop my way down, like here.
Yeah, this is one of the few shots that kind of requires Fulbright to be able to see. You can do it without Fulbright, but with Fulbright is so much easier.
I mean, I imagine technically Fulbright isn't necessary at all, but you know.
Yeah, it's not necessary, but it makes things easier, so.
Oh, well, I missed the shot. There we go. So I know you can get up there. I can never do it. So we're just gonna wait for the door. Because it's all fine.
This is one of the funniest jokes in the entire game, in my opinion. There's this whole vault opening. It's so dramatic, and then when it opens, it's like a tiny little door.
Funny because I don't think not even full brightness. Yeah, not even full brightness shows it.
Yeah, there's like a black plane that starts in front of it. That's in front of it. That only gets removed once once you're supposed to be able to see it.
So feel free to explain all of the skips that I don't do because I'm boring.
Yeah, this map is called Cave Johnson, mostly because you're going to be meeting Cave Johnson. That's sort of the whole thing. But in the speed run, we skip this whole room and we skip a couple extra areas to a point where we don't hear a single Cave Johnson line for the entire map.
Okay, I missed the jump.
You forgot to jump, yeah. This map is one of the most difficult to do optimally. However, this is another one of the maps with so many route variations to where every run, every person does this map differently.
That may occur in the course of your science adventure. Your test assignment will vary depending on the manner in which you have bent the world to your will. Those of you helping us test the repulsion gel today, just follow the blue line on the floor. Those of you who volunteered to be injected with praying mantis DNA, I've got some good news and some bad news.
Wow, I can't shoot.
Bad
Okay.
news is we're postponing those tests indefinitely. Good news is we've got a much better test for you. Fighting an army of mantis men. Pick up a rifle.
Oh, that's a new
There we
one.
go. Oof.
That is a new one, and I
So,
don't know where I am now.
You go up one more layer.
Yeah. Okay. That
So
was
that-
a new one.
So that was a stair boost. That's something that that's just another movement quirk. Oftentimes you'll see it a lot in the movement / behind the scenes maps. Since there are a lot of stairs and stuff, and more speed equals good.
Truer words have never been said.
They say great science is built on the shoulders
So
of
the next
giants.
map is our first introduction to gel. We'll be first meeting blue gel or repulsion gel, which is the gel that makes you bounce when you hop on it. It's another gameplay mechanic that actually this game blue gel gets used a lot. They
Yeah,
use
I'd say
it
it's
pretty
the
much.
gel that-
It's used a lot.
I'd say it's the one gel that gets used the most.
Yeah. There are two other types of gel that we'll be learning about. Chapter 7 introduces orange gel and white gel. Orange gel is propulsion
Okay, I
gel,
didn't get it.
which speeds you up when you run on it, and white gel is conversion gel, which allows any surface to become a portalable surface.
The lab boys just informed me that
And
I should
those
not
two are
control for
definitely underused compared to blue gel.
these pre-recorded messages. That gave me an
But
idea. Make
granted,
pre-recorded messages.
blue gel is kind of the only gel that has great gameplay techniques assigned to it or related
Yeah.
to it. White gel you can only do for like dramatic effect, I guess.
I went too early. Way too early.
And orange gel, it's fun for like flings or whatever, but having too many flings can get pretty annoying in terms of puzzle design. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, that happens.
Yeah, it has happened sometimes. I don't really know why, but
It happens, I believe, when the box prop collides with like the train prop, I don't the carriage prop, whatever that is, the moving one. You know, so there's that classic bounce on repulsion gel on the side that is only used in this map.
Yeah, literally only used in one map, and that's it.
Which, in my opinion, is good, because I think it's a kind of dumb technique.
I mean,
I'm not a big fan of puzzles that use it.
If it's used like that, where you just do one thing and suddenly it's just you watching, then yeah.
Do not get covered in the repulsion gel. We haven't entirely nailed down what element it is yet, but I'll tell you this, it's a lively one.
I've never been able to do this this elevator cycle, like ever.
All these science spheres are made of asbestos, by the way. Keeps out the rats. Let us know if you
Okay,
feel a shortness of
I've
breath,
never gotten
persistent
stuck
dry
here.
cough,
That's
or
a new
your heart
one.
stopping, because
Yeah,
that's not
interesting.
part of the test.
Sorry, source engine moment. That's
Yeah.
Asbestos poisoning show a median latency of 44.6 years. So if you're 30 or older, you're like, I like your
so this map is bomb flings, and it's going to introduce us to the concept of gel blobs, which you can move around with portals to make gel land pretty much anywhere. Very, very fun. Well, probably one of my favorite puzzle elements in the whole game.
I like them, but they're pretty inconsistent sometimes.
Yeah, they're kind of annoying when you have to like take some time to go move gel around the entire map. But they're fun. It gives like the player a sense of freedom on where they can move stuff around, you know?
Just a heads up, that coffee we gave you earlier had fluorescent calcium in it, so we
I'm sort of using this commentary talking about all this stuff with like puzzle design because I'm working on a map pack myself.
Oh, that's good.
I'm trying to think of like good puzzle concepts and like what counts as good puzzle design, because most workshop maps are not.
Oh, I know.
There's a fantastic video about that as well, about what makes puzzle design in Portal specifically good, and why most workshop maps are bad. I forget who the creator of that video was.
Let us know, because that means it's about to hit 5.
This map introduces us to the concept of water, which allows you to take the gel off of a surface, and I think this is the only map where water is used.
Trace amounts of time travel.
3 gels, I think?
You're
Well,
right.
no, or Crazy Box too.
This is Crazy Box.
Oh, right. I didn't look at my life split. That makes a lot of sense, actually. I always forget that some of these are like multiple puzzles at once. Compared to like Portal 1, where it's one and that's it.
Yeah, well, okay. Portal 2 is very rare in the case of having multiple puzzles in one map. Like, you'll notice that so in total there are 60 maps in Portal 2. But that's also because Portal 2 is not very generous when it comes to having multiple puzzles in one map. Like, you'll notice this game does not have, in modern Aperture, where we were earlier in the game, it does not have mid-level elevators. The underground segment does in one map, which will be later in Chapter 7. But I think the best example for this is in Chapter 1, the map Smooth Jazz, which would be 04/05 in Portal 1. In Portal 1, in both Portal 1 and Portal 2, those two test chambers are only one map. But in Portal 1, there's an elevator between them, while in Portal 2, it's just a short hallway.
Special safety door that won't hit you on the butt on the way out, because you are fired. Now you test subject, you're doing fine. Yes, you. Box your stuff. Out the front door. Parking lot. Car. Goodbye. Congratulations. The simple fact that you're standing here listening to me means you've made a glorious contribution to science. As founder and CEO of Aperture Science, I thank you for your participation.
I don't know how they're called, but do you wanna talk a little bit about the portal magnets in this game, or?
Yeah. Okay, so there's a mechanic in this game called portal placement helpers. Pretty much, they are exactly what they seem. They allow portal. If you sort of shoot in a general direction, it'll shoot the portal where it wants to go. Pretty much every single testing element has a tiny portal placement helper on it. So, for example, bridges.
Okay.
bridges, there's a portal placement helper right on top of.
Okay, now this
if you want, you can shoot the portal before you jump.
Yeah, that doesn't... There we go.
There you go.
Come on.
So every testing element has a sort of tiny portal placement helper to get your portal centered on the testing element, but sometimes there are massive ones, like the one that you saw earlier in the map. Earlier in this map, where it is so big you can literally shoot from inside a wall, from like across a wall, and the portal will land.
Greetings, friend. I'm Cave Johnson, CEO of Aperture Science.
It is pretty funny to watch.
Yeah.
1968 Senate hearings on missing astronauts, and you've most likely used.
Oh, hi. Say, you're good at... Oh, thanks.
So, yeah, we got GLaDOS back.
Idiot doesn't know what he's doing.
You can get up there without doing this.
If somebody doesn't...
I can't.
I can't move. And unless you're...
That's skipping this cutscene is something that early in the game, like early in the game's existence, 2011 or so, people did in their casual playthroughs accidentally.
Oh,
So
by
if
just
it-
not knowing that this was here?
Yeah, so when Potato showed up on their gun in the next map, they're like, oh, how'd that get here? Not knowing that this whole area existed.
The gun must be part magnesium. It feels like I'm outputting an extra half a volt. Keep an eye on me. I'm going to do some scheming. Here I go.
Oh, I got up there. I didn't know that was possible, actually.
Where are we? How long have I been out? That extra half volt helps.
And that is the end of chapter 6.
If I think too hard, I'm going to...
We have 3 chapters left.
So chapter 7 is where we get introduced to Orange Jill or Speed Jill. I would say fairly underused, but to be frank, I don't find it that fun. I think I complained about it enough already.
What the hell is going on here?
They use it fairly well in this chamber, where there are gaps that you have to cross. But every other map, it's pretty much just use it plus like a blob of blue gel to get speed and then make a bounce somewhere. It's not really it's not really that creative what you could do with orange gel.
It is very satisfying to play it once you've already set it up. But the puzzle design itself is very questionable.
Yeah, there is one great instance of orange gel, and it's a series of custom maps called Gelosity. There are 3 of them in total, and they're time trial race maps where you have to go around a course, but there's orange gel on the floor, so you race around with orange gel.
Going to find out what the hell...
Those are very fun. If you've never played them, I highly recommend you do. They're available on the Steam Workshop. Hey, look, a line of orange gel with a blue gel blob to make a bounce somewhere.
Wow. Surely that will only be in this map, right?
Yeah, hopefully. Let's play a hydrating game using definitely water. Using water here. Take a drink every time there's an orange gel line with a blue gel blob to make a bounce somewhere.
This on? Hey, listen up down there. That thing's called an elevator, not a bathroom.
I swear I know him.
Speaking of which...
If you're interested in an additional
So this is
flag down a test associate and let him know. You
the
can
prop
reach out
flings.
to
I had to think about the map name for a second.
your Findle if you let us take you apart,
Um,
some science stuff in you, then put you
I'm gonna go a little bit on another tangent here while you do this puzzle. So the map names in Portal 2, there are sort of 2 different map names. There's the map name that you see in game, which is in the challenge mode, like individual levels menu. Oh, take a drink. And so in the challenge mode menu, this map is called prop flings or propulsion flings. But in the actual map's game file, so the actual like map file that this map is, because Source Engine games, they're not just like, all maps aren't just compacted into an exe. The maps are just available as files that you can decompile. Take a drink.
in case you're
And in that, I believe this map is called
Oh, I
Speed
just
Ramp.
learned me. Oh well.
I mentioned earlier.
That's fine.
All you
I
have
believe
to
this
do
map is called Speed Ramp in the game files.
not bang banging rocks together here, we know how to put a man back together. So that's a complete reassembly.
If you want to, like, if you're interested in like modding games or decompiling, not decompiling, but like looking inside of games, Source Engine games are very easy to do that because there's a literal maps folder with all the maps just in there. and then you could use a program like BSP Source to decompile the maps. So this is conversion intro. This is where we're going to be, I guess, being introduced to conversion gel, which, as I said before, allows any surface to become a portable surface. A very, very underused game mechanic. It is used in this map, the next map, and the final map in the game, and that is it.
Yeah,
I think.
Honestly, for the better. I don't like conversion.
Yeah, as a mechanic, it's kind of flawed. Like, I get why they did it. Like, being able to make any surface portable is awesome, but especially the puzzle that comes later in this map.
Yeah,
very much
that one
shows
is the
why.
worst.
Very much shows why this is a flawed concept for a gel. No blue gel. No blue gel. Doesn't count.
Doesn't count. No.
Doesn't count. No blue gel.
Take half.
Take half a sip. Drink only the hydrogen of your dihydrogen monoxide.
As a result, you may have heard we're going to phase out.
I mentioned before that mid-map elevators are very rare in this game. Here's our one example of a mid-map elevator. So this next puzzle it just shows why this gel isn't a great idea. Pretty much the whole concept is that you're supposed to, there's like a spout where you could, grab some gel with the portal, and you're just supposed to put the gel everywhere. You're supposed to make the gel like climb up a wall or something. It is very tedious. Don't get me wrong, it is very fun to get gel everywhere on this map. But as a puzzle, it is very tedious and not very fun.
Really, the main issue with this level, the main difficulty is just being able to somehow get the gel out of that square. After that, it's just easy. It's just tedious more than anything else.
Yeah. And Valve hadn't learned their lesson because the co-op DLC that released a year or so after the base game also includes a puzzle that is conversion gel, and you gotta spread it everywhere. So Valve map designers have not learned their lesson. And I guess here we get to hear the most famous speech in the game, so I'll just shut up while that happens.
Don't make lemonade. Make life take the lemons back. Get mad! I don't want your damn lemons! What am I supposed to do with these? Demand to see life's manager. Make life rule the day. Thought I could give Cave Johnson lemons. Do you know who I am? I'm the man who's gonna burn your house down with the lemons. I'm gonna get my engineers to invent a combustible lemon that burns your house down.
Burning people. He says what we're all thinking.
The point is, if we can store music on a compact disc, why can't we store a man's intelligence and personality on one? So I have the engineers figuring that out now. Brain mapping, artificial intelligence. We should have been working on it 30 years ago. I will say this, and I'm going to say it on tape so everybody hears it 100 times.
That was a nice fuck up.
If I die before you people can pour me into a computer, I want Carolyn to run this place.
That was a nice buck up. I messed up, but okay.
I know things look bleak, but
That's the end. That's the end of that map, and the end of the arguably the end of the speech. GLaDOS will reference it here.
back upstairs and make him put me back in my body. And he'll probably kill us because he's incredibly powerful and
Oh, but yeah, so this is 3 gels. This is a map where we actually mix all 3 gels.
$1,000,000 to 1, and that's with some generous rounding. Still though,
One of the most tedious, I know. But
Yeah, casually not a very fun map. And also, you're not even like mixing all 3 gels. Like, we've been using blue gel and orange gel together a lot in this game so far, but the conversion gel just shows up midway. Oh wait, never mind. No, it doesn't. I just completely forgot how this chamber looked. Okay, you do use you do use conversion gel. I'm just forgetting.
Not that much though.
Yeah, only a little bit, but it still counts.
So now I do this.
Take a drink.
This a double drink?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about double drink.
Oh, great.
This bit's fairly unique, where you have to portal a surface and then like do the opposite to use blue gel. That bit's fairly unique. I like that.
Oh, that's gonna mess up everything. Great.
Drink. I don't care if it was the same one that we used again. We still used it again. Drink.
Okay. I completely got the wrong one. There we go. I mean, this is kind of interesting, right?
Yeah, this is interesting. It's interesting, but it's...
air vent.
Sometimes when I watch people's casual playthroughs, because for some reason people have to do casual playthroughs of this game in 2023, I see people get kind of stuck there a lot. Even though it's like, how? This game's been out almost 12 years and it's probably one of the most well-known games of all time. How do you play it? Or not how do you play, how have you not played it?
So, I know you can do like something weird with the pipes, like get up there a lot earlier. I wait for the elevator.
I have an idea. That poster. Go look at it for a second, would you? Paradoxes. No AI can resist thinking about them.
So yeah, you have to look at that poster.
Know how we can beat him.
There's a loop trigger there. If you don't, you just... nothing happens.
I think eventually GLaDOS starts the GLaDOS starts her all this stuff, but I think it takes like an extra couple seconds.
So yeah, now we're finishing chapter 7. We're going into the end game. Not quite the finale, but the end game.
Yeah, I guess since we're waiting for this, if there are any announcements that the host would like to make, now's a good time before the end of the game.
Yeah, let me do a quick check here. We did get one donation in as soon as I pull up. Okay. We got a $35 donation from Seriously Surly that says, "No incentive left behind, let's see the true ending." And that is for Kirby's Block Ball, Show the True Ending. We are about $35, or we're about $40 Canadian from that. So get your donations in for that. I know y'all want to see that. I got nothing else. This is a really solid run so far. So thank you for this.
Thanks to you and to Jay for submitting this. I have learned Portal 1 in the past, though only glitchless. So this was a good experience, especially considering how different it actually is from Portal 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was on the for Speedromizer 1, I had learned Portal 1 Inbound's no SLA legacy, so I definitely feel some of the struggles for this.
With legs! it's literally your only purpose. Walking onto bugs.
So we're in chapter 8 now. Wheatley has taken over Aperture and has created abominations of turrets and boxes. They're called Franken turrets, naturally. And those Franken turrets are pretty much going to be replacing normal cubes for the most part in this chapter. But more importantly, this chapter gives us our final new gameplay mechanic, or our final new test mechanic, which is funnels.
Okay, never mind. I don't. That throw is impossible. I don't know. But yeah, you can throw the cube and get stuck in there to enter early. I think. I don't know how it works. I haven't been able to do it, but I always try it.
Yeah, it's just a good throw.
I'll be honest, I might have heard that one before though, sort of cheating.
And sometimes like you can see the cubes roll around. Sometimes a roll is necessary too, depending on the throw.
Yeah,
False.
There have been a lot of times where I've been waiting for this cutscene here at the door, and just as I'm about to enter, this cube just moves around and goes away.
Yeah.
Fixed. Hey, it is great seeing
Yeah,
you
the
guys
cubes,
again. Seriously, it
or
turns
the
out
Franken
we're a
turrets,
bit short
since they
on
could walk
test
around
subjects right now, so
themselves,
this works out perfect.
there's supposed to be a little push trigger around the button so that the Franken turrets don't accidentally hit the button. Because if that happens, then it will be a soft lock,
You know, it must be hard
which is extremely rare. I think there were only like 8 or 9 cases of that happening like on recording. And one of them was during a record-based speedrun.
Yeah, I've seen that video.
Actually, let me add a little bit more to that. It was during a world record-based speedrun back when using quick saves and quick loads wasn't allowed. So that was it. That was the end of the run.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun.
Oh, that felt really good. Oh, here's an idea. Since making tests is so difficult, why don't you just keep
This test is so
solving
nice we have to do it
this
twice.
test?
Actually, I think we can do it as many times as we want, but the ending elevator, the ending elevator opens after the second time.
And nothing. All right, can't blame you for trying. Okay, new tests. Gotta be some tests around here somewhere.
So don't expect
Here we go.
anything with the funnels here. The fear of softlock prevented me from learning it, and I know you can quick save and quick load and whatnot, but I just got used to doing the puzzles.
It shouldn't be hard to stay alive long enough to find him.
Yeah, so here's our final new testing element. Funnels,
Everything's good. I just
basically
invented
they
some
just
more
allow whatever's in them to
Not entirely,
fly
not
about
entirely.
in the
Look at
direction
word test
of
there on the wall. That's brand
whichever
new.
direction the funnel's traveling. There is a very important glitch that higher level speedruns do, and it's the ability to fly outside of the funnels with with 0 gravity. So if you're in a funnel, if you're at the end of a funnel, meaning you're not moving, and you crouch and uncrouch, the game will think that since your crouched and uncrouched hitbox is 2 separate hitboxes, the game thinks that, oh, well, there are 2 hitboxes in the funnel, so that means that you must be in 2 funnels.
Yeah, made this
So if
test
you
myself.
leave a funnel, then the game still thinks that you're in a funnel, so you get 0 gravity and you're able to fly everywhere.
Buttons, got funnels.
It looks really cool, but also is very, very difficult to control, because since gravity is no longer a factor, that means you just float around, and sometimes you have no method to just float down.
Never mind.
Yeah, the only way to go down, like, since there's 0 gravity, you can't just go down, so you have to hit something on the ceiling to propel you downward.
Oh, yes. Well done.
Thanks. All we had to do was pull that lever.
What? Well, no, you pressed the... Ah!
I know we're in a lot of trouble and probably about to die, but that was worth it. I thought of some good news.
So yeah, most of these levels with the funnel glitch, you can just
I'm coming, don't start yet.
fly
don't
over
start yet.
everything
You are
and
not gonna believe this.
don't do anything.
Hundreds.
Which is, again, really cool, but
Filled with skeletons, shook them out, good as new.
Skeletons. Right, I guess I did stockpile some tests. Just as mementos, though.
And there we go. Be honest, you can't even tell, can you? Seamless.
what do I do here? Okay. Now it was... Did I get it? Okay.
Yep.
I always forget what to do in this level. Nice.
Yeah, nice toss.
Oh, disappointed.
Oh no, it's happening sooner than I expected.
I don't really remember the normal way to do that level. I imagine you just have to move the funnel around while you're in the platform, but that is much easier.
For a way out.
Yeah, I think the
Alright, so that
technical
last test
intended
was
way is
seriously
to
disappointing. Apparently, being civil isn't motivating
is to
you,
just place
so
the cube
let's
on the
do it straight
ground
away,
and then
alright?
just put a
Fatty,
funnel, like put the portal with the funnel below it so it just flies up.
No parents. What?
And then you could just navigate it
What's
from
wrong
there.
with being adopted? Lack of parents.
Yeah, flying to this map is great because
Nothing.
the exit is right there,
Someone
no
would have said
buttons
that
need
you're
to be
all
pressed or
good.
anything, it's just there.
I am not.
Oh, and another thing with funnels,
Just do the test. Just do the
funnels
test.
also have a polarity, so if they're triggered, then they can go into the orange direction, which instead of pushing stuff away from, instead of like pushing whatever's in the funnel away from the funnel source, it will pull things towards it. That is only used in this map and like one other map, so
Yeah.
it's only used in that map called polarity and one other map called repulsion polarity.
So that's just what I was doing.
Okay, I'm just doing this wrong because I forgot where the funnel was, but okay.
So nothing more.
So fine.
Just finish the last one. Just know the hardest one, Machiavelli. Do not know what all the fuss was about. Understood it perfectly.
One thing that's pretty funny about like these map names is that oftentimes, especially in late game, the map names are just so obvious compared to what they are. So like this map, oh, you catch a box in a funnel. Funnel catch.
Yeah, map names aren't really that original in this game.
In fact, funnel catch specifically is so unoriginal because there is also a map called funnel catch and co-op. They decided to use the same map name for co-op, which has been a source of argument for in the speedrun community for a little while. As we're trying to make custom challenge mode. So normally the base challenge mode game mode in Portal 2, it's not just individual level speedruns. There's also a custom HUD. There's also a custom HUD. There's connections to Steam servers and whatnot.
Okay, I tried.
Oh,
there's
great.
a white ball right the other side too, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot. I usually never do that.
Yeah. So challenge mode has like connections to Steam servers and a custom HUD. So you can't just add more maps. They need to be added. You need to add custom maps via like a plugin with programming and stuff. So it's fairly difficult to do that. But we've been working on it. So we've been working on giving Portal Stories Mel, which is one of the mods that I mentioned earlier, challenge mode capabilities. But for some of these other mods that don't have specific map names, we've been needing to come up with some. And I'm the only person that's like wanting to reuse map names because Valve did it themselves, but everyone else was like, no, that's stupid.
I'm gonna tape you solving these.
I'm like, why? Valve did it. Valve has 2 funnel catches. Why can't this mod have another funnel catch?
Anyway, just give me a wave, would you, before you solve this one, alright? I don't want to spoil the ending for when I watch it later.
I guess the main argument for that comes in with Aperture Tag, which has both Smooth Jazz and Column Blocker, which are 2 maps from Portal 2. Just directly in those mods, just directly in the mod, so.
So yeah, now we get... This is kind of similar to a previous map, the Pull the Rug. Basically because you have 2 platforms that should be contradictory to each other. You should not be able to put use one and the other at the same time. But you do. And that's the whole puzzle. Wait, what? How did you get up there? Okay, that's a new one. What is going on? Okay. There we go. That's the first. Never had that happen before.
Oh, you just solved it, didn't you? I told you to tell me. Why are you making this so hard for me?
Remember when I told you that he was specifically designed to make bad decisions? because I think he's decided not to maintain any of the crucial functions required to keep this facility from exploding.
Also, this chapter and the next one are the best in dialogue. You can't quote me on that.
This whole game is incredibly fun when it comes to dialogue.
It really is.
Was self-destructing, already fixed. Programmed in one last tremor for all time's sake.
Oh, never mind. I was gonna say this map also uses fizzlers as a gameplay mechanic, but no, that's not a regular fizzler. That's a death fizzler. Very different. Very different. This is the only map, I think, at least where like these hazardous fizzlers are used, though.
I think so, right? I don't remember seeing them anywhere else. Like, they're available in custom maps, and but that's about it, I want to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, casually this level is kinda boring. Well. And I don't know why I did that. I didn't save or anything, I just... Okay.
You're good. You could keep going.
Yeah, no, I can keep going, but like,
you can
that was...
Go back to the starting area, or go back to the main platform area.
No, I mean, I can just do this, and I'm back here. That's fine. But like, I don't know what I did there. Concentrating is difficult, apparently. Candy.
Alright, still nothing, let's keep moving. Sorry about the lift, it's out of service. Because it might as well, give you the tour.
Okay, so... yeah, this part is cool. Is there a way to skip? Well, yeah, of course there is a way to skip this part. You do have the funnel glitch. Yeah,
you can fly.
Forgot.
Just fly past it.
Oh, no, that's not helpful. I don't know why I thought that would help.
After seeing what he's done to my facility, after we take over again, is it alright if I kill him?
Okay. So we're nearing the end.
Yeah, just getting a test ready.
Yeah, I'd say that starting around this map is sort of like end game in terms of puzzles.
There is no.
At least for me.
Oh, it went to the side.
Oh, yeah, it went off to the side.
Your test.
This map specifically is interesting because Peabody from the co-op campaign appears.
Good, perfect, probably good.
Yeah, though only for a second, and only if you know where to look.
Well, you have to look over by the ending door.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah, but that's what I mean. Most people
don't. If you don't look over by the ending door, then like if you don't look over by the ending to look at Peabody, then the ending door doesn't open. So like you have to look in that direction to end the map. So you have to look there at some point.
Now it was here and there. Let me get some more speed because it's not the first time I've gotten short in this jump. No blue gel, sadly.
Yeah, no blue gel, no drink.
In fact, you might say you're going to love it to death. You'll love it until it kills you till you're dead. All right, I don't know whether you're picking up on what I'm saying there, but
Yes, thanks. We get it.
So this is the last map of Chapter 8.
Yeah, this is the repulsion polarity map that I mentioned earlier, so we're going to be using the orange funnel mechanic again. And again, that's this map and the map where it's introduced are the only two maps where it's used, so.
Yep.
oh, it's tiring.
So yeah. We just have to carry this blue gel to the other side by inverting the polarity right here. At least this is how I think it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it is. This is the intended solution. Which is a solution that I see a lot of people having trouble with, because at no point in the game, at no point in the previous map, I guess, did they introduce, like, they've introduced using polarity to push stuff away from, like, to push stuff away from you or to pull stuff towards you, but they haven't introduced, like,
You solved it? Good.
keeping something
Good one.
in the air by switching around the polarity, like you did with the gel.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of people having trouble with this puzzle.
Going out of his mind with test withdrawal. And he's got a surprise for us. What did he find?
So, we're approaching the finale. And by approaching, I mean we're in the finale.
Yeah, we are in the finale.
I'll bet you're both dying to
So this
know
is chapter
what your
9.
big
It doesn't say it on the
surprise is.
screen
Well,
because they set up
only
a joke
two
for
more
it later.
chambers.
Which is one of the best in the whole game.
I think I can break us out.
But yeah, so this is chapter 9. These are the final 4 maps of the game. Finale 1, 2, 3, and 4. I know, very, very well named, but
Built specifically to cope with
It's very useful, especially when you try to remember which level had which part.
yeah.
Probably figured it out by now.
Might as well call this map number 57, 58, 59, and 60.
Specifically for testing.
Yes, that would work.
He found the cooperative testing initiative. It's something I came up with to phase out human testing just before you escaped. It wasn't anything personal, just, you know, you did kill me. Fair's fair.
Yeah, here's that setup for the joke.
Hello. This is the part where I kill you.
It's so good.
There I was, smashing some steel plates together, and I thought to myself, yes, no, don't do that, stand right here, stand, where you go? No, seriously, do come back, please. Okay, look, I've decided I'm not gonna kill you, okay, if you come back. Oh, just thinking back to the old times, the old days when we were friends, good old friends, not enemies, and I would say something like, come back, and you'd be like, yeah, no problem, and you'd come back. What happened to those days? Can't help but notice that you're not coming back, which is disappointing. Oh, I've got an idea.
Not the first time I have failed this jump.
Fine, let the game.
Yeah, so
Although-
the rest
Yeah,
of
no.
this game is going to be just purely escaping Whaley's traps. You can think of it like the behind the scenes maps from earlier in the game, but with more traps, I guess. But there are no more traditional test chambers.
There have been times where I've gotten soft lock in that room. I don't know why. Like the door just wouldn't open.
I think it only opens if you're in a like a fairly small trigger that's around where you land.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense actually.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
I see. Clever. Very clever. And foolish. Spinny blade wall. Machiavellian. No. Wow. Good. Finally, a nemesis worthy of my Holmes versus Moriarty. Aristotle versus Mashy Spike Plates. Stay still, please.
So
Fun
yeah,
fact.
we're just
Fun fact, you could shoot any portal on that surface that just came in, and the funnel will follow. So there's no way to actually shoot the wrong portal there.
That is something I was very paranoid about and I didn't know about, so that's
Yep,
really
it is-
reassuring to hear.
It is impossible to not have a funnel there.
Break back there.
I mean, makes sense, but also, wow.
That would be amazing if it killed you.
It's the only point in the game where like the game controls or like changes around your funnels, but it makes sense as it's for like a quality of life thing. Since people will not remember what portal they placed.
No, I never do. Okay. Alright. 2 maps left.
Map 59 and map 60.
Yes.
Well, okay, technically, I'm not counting in like 2 Bride and Longfall, so technically it's 61, 62. But ask any speedrunner how many maps there are on the single player campaign, they'll tell you 60. Because that's how many maps there are with gameplay.
Okay. That didn't hit it.
I wanted to talk to you for a moment, if I may.
There we go.
I'll be honest, the death traps have been a bit of a failure so far for both of us. I think you'll agree. And
So yeah,
getting very close to my lair.
again, no blue gel, but
Okay, I'll take
Yeah, no
that
blue
as
gel
no
doesn't count.
What has he done to this place?
all right.
Alright, we are actually in endgame now. We just have this one funnel ride, then we are at the end of this map, and then into the boss fight.
I realize you don't want to put me back in charge. You think I'll betray you. And on any other day you'd
Which I would recommend to everyone watch at least once
regulate my
the final boss in the top level run, because it's insane.
voice of a conscience, and it's terrifying. Because for the first time, it's my voice.
Having to manage
Serious. I think
all the
there's
bombs at the
something
same time is,
wrong with me.
yeah.
Corrupted cores, we're in luck. You find a way to stun him, I'll send you a core, and then you attach it to him. If we do it a few times, he might become corrupt enough for another core transfer. Plug me in, look. Even if you think we're still enemies, we're enemies with a common interest. Revenge.
So,
You like revenge, right?
you want to talk about the Wiggly boss fight and how you all make it seem so stupidly easy?
So the Wheatley boss fight is, if you're familiar with the Portal 1 boss fight, it is essentially the direct opposite of the GLaDOS boss fight from Portal 1. In Portal 1's boss fight, you hit GLaDOS with the rocket turrets to knock cores off of her so you can incinerate them. But this time we're going to be doing the opposite. To dumb Wheatley down, we're going to be adding cores onto him. So there are three phases of the boss fight. There's the Space Core, the Adventure Core, and then the Fact Core. What higher level speedruns do is that Wheatley's going to throw bombs at us, and we need to hit them back to him just via portals or whatever. But high level speedruns catch the bombs in like a loop, so it's like the portals are like juggling the bombs, you could say. And then when it comes time, we can just shoot the bombs at Wheatley to save a couple seconds between when Wheatley can first actually be able to be hit by the bombs compared to when he actually shoots the bombs at us casually.
Because you just fell into my trap, my brilliant trap.
But overall, the boss fight itself, in terms of playing casually, it isn't too difficult as long as you can just shoot the portals in the right place. It's fairly easy to beat. Let's see, we're gonna grab our first core here, Space Core. Or I guess just Core 1 according to the
system compromised.
the captions.
Reactor
Yeah.
explosion in 4 minutes.
He didn't even put names.
What happened?
It's Space Core, Adventure Core, and Fact Core. Or arguably Space Core, Rec, and Fact Core. Fact Core. There we go.
Okay, great. Here comes another core.
This one's Rick here is my personal favorite.
Hey, you pretty lady.
It is really good.
So you out having yourself a little
I mentioned it before. If you're a fan of
Like
Rick,
that.
there's
You
a
got
whole
that
map
under
pack
control?
called Design for Danger. It's available in the workshop. It's just a bunch of tests that Rick made. It is a very funny map pack. It's a very fun map pack. The puzzles are pretty well designed.
Explosion timer destroyed.
But it's also
Reactor
funny
explosion
since
uncertainty
all of
in
Rick's lines are incredibly funny, and we only got to hear one here before
in 2 minutes.
before he came quiet.
I told you not to put these cores on me, but you don't listen, do you? Quiet. All the time.
Oh, what?
Not listening to a word I say.
There we go.
There you go.
Weird
Yeah,
angles.
Wheatley was sort of oriented in a weird way.
This
Yeah,
one,
well.
I don't know how to speed it up or anything. I just have to wait here. I don't know if it's possible to speed it up.
It is using some of like the panels that you like shoot the gel blobs from. You can get enough height just by flinging off of them to get up towards
Core
the fat
corruption
core.
at 100%.
Also, no blue gel, don't drink. So this is the end of the game here. Time's going to be coming up after a short cutscene where we shoot the moon because I'm not sure if anyone in chat's been paying too much attention to the story, but the conversion gel is made from moon dust, meaning that the moon itself is portable.
Fire detected in the stalemate resolution annex. Extinguishing.
So there's some rain here that comes in from the outside that wipes out most of the gel, but thankfully some of it's being blocked by wheelies, so there's a little bit left.
Which I ended up doing very far, but whatever.
Alright, 16 seconds till time ends.
What? Are you still alive? You are joking! You have got to be kidding me!
The good thing is you can just spam shoot, and it works.
You can actually hold down left click and it works.
Oh well, and time.
Time.
That is Portal 2.
GG.
Hey, good run.
Yeah, that was a really nice run.
Well, sure, we can say that.
I mean, I was entertained.
But yeah, that was Portal 2. I'm very happy to have drawn this game. Thank you for submitting it again, Jacob.
Yep, of course.
And yeah.
Alright, so that's Portal 2. If you're curious in running Portal 2, if you're interested, we do have a community Discord server that has a bunch of resources that you can learn from, discord.gg/p2sr. That's where most resources are. We also have a YouTube channel, Portal 2 Speedrun Hub, which is also at P2SR, since YouTube has that new handle system now.
You were my greatest enemy, when all along you were my best friend. The surge of emotion that shot through me when I saved your life taught me an even more valuable lesson. Where Carolyn lives in my brain.
We'll be right back with more speedrunning goodness.
You know, deleting Carolyn just now taught me a valuable lesson.